Hello everybody and welcome back to Console Peasant Quotes, the only series on the internet that shows gamers that we're all just gamers and the platform doesn't matter. Before we start, I want to say, to the guy that keeps leaving comments telling me that this series has more than just Console Peasant Quotes in it, well, I was blatantly unaware. Thanks for letting me know that. With that out of the way, let's begin. Buy a $400 PS4, you're on the same playing field as everyone. Buy a $400 PC, you're at a disadvantage going against people who pay thousands to get top specs. See, I hear this a lot, but what do top specs do for you? Yeah, I can buy 3 monitors and see all around myself, but my reaction time still has to be competitive. That slight edge is simply that. Now you could say, what about monitors with higher refresh rates? But again, if you're not fast enough to pick up on that extra nanosecond you've been given, then you just have it for aesthetics. If you want to talk about unfair, let's talk about those games that screw over the people with the highest specs. Sneaking around in bushes to hide from other players only to realize that the guy with the lower spec system can't render in the bushes that I'm hiding in, so he sees me plain as day. Is this the platform's fault? Is it the developer's fault? Who knows? Either way, it's a really small thing to complain about. That's why PC's the best. Well, PC also has pedophilia, say it's the best now. I mean, that has nothing to do with anything. According to NeoGAF and Pornhub, the PS4 is the system people use the most to watch porn. I mean, it's a fun fact, but it doesn't do anything for anyone. It doesn't make the platform better or worse. Congratulations! After nearly a decade of PCs being able to do it, a console is able to do 1080p. Maybe in another 15 years you can do 1080p in 60 frames per second. That'd be something. It's doing it right now, and no, the PC hasn't been hitting 1080p for nearly a decade, unless you want to count PS2 graphics. What? Wait, so you're trying to tell me that if my resolution is at 1080p, but I played my games at lowest settings, I'm not playing at 1080p? What the hell resolution am I playing this game at then? Too high frame rate sucks because it causes lag for others. I would say above 60 FPS to 120 FPS is the best. Okay, so what he's saying here, guys, is a video game only has so much frame rate to go around, and when you're playing at 144 frames per second, you're stealing some of that frame rate from other players. Just do your part, guys. Stay at 60 FPS and shut the water off as you're brushing your teeth. We only have one planet, you know. Anything to shut down the PC moocher race is okay with me. I have no respect for clowns who spend hundreds of dollars on a compensation issue level PC, yet want to steal console games because they're too damn cheap to buy the consoles. Okay, real quick, I need you to try to see where we're coming from. As a consumer, I should have the right to purchase anything I want without a contrived restriction. If you went to the store to buy ice cream, and the guy at the checkout told you that you can only have the ice cream if you have a Frigidaire freezer, wouldn't that be ridiculous? There are better ways of getting people to buy your brand without pushing them into a corner, and people who just bend over and say, well, the company wants it, so I guess I'll just give it to them, has no respect from me. Oh, and by the way, not to be rude, but people who spend tons of money on gaming PCs by definition can't be cheap. That's kind of a contradiction. I really wish this game was exclusive to the PS4 so the graphics could be taken to a more realistic level. I just don't understand why any developer would want to develop their games on weaker hardware like PC and Xbox. Alright, I'm gonna stop you right there. I mean, it's a good point. Why would any developer want their games on more platforms? That'd make them more money. Let's remove the gameplay and restrict it to one console. That way the game makes less money and looks only as good as that console can do. I'm just talking out of my butt crack now as I'm fading out. I do no research on graphics, I just pretend my console's the best. By the way, I'm 6. Don't optimize game. Pump more graphic, pump more stuff. Whatever you do, don't optimize it. Let poor people with lame GPUs don't get in-game. This is the sorriest case of elitism I think I've ever seen. Don't let people play the game because they're poor? You're asking for games like Ark Survival Evolved, where even myself, who had a 980 Ti at the time, couldn't even play games at over 15 FPS when it was first released. You're asking for games where the lower spec players have the advantage, because the grass you're hiding in won't render in. No matter how much you want to feel special, asking the developer to shoot himself in the foot and tarnish his reputation is not okay. Even if they released the game with consoles for PC, it would probably still be built on a console, which means it would still be a console port, because most games nowadays are built on consoles. I'm not saying that there aren't games that are not built on PCs, it's just a lot fewer than it was back in the day. Thus explaining cheat codes, because it was harder to remove cheat codes without breaking the game because it would mess up a ton of code. What the hell are you talking about? Okay, I'm not going to say anything here, but I do have some homework for you. Pick any game, any exclusive or otherwise, and look up the process in which it was made. I think you're going to be in for a real treat. And I don't think you're going to like what you find. You're not a real gamer if you play PlayStation. This is a proven fact. Real gamers are only on PC. PlayStation gamers can get butthurt all you want, but it's true. Ugh, congratulations everyone, there's now a PC version of JTech TV. Can't wait for this guy to start calling them PS port beggars and pony drones. Ugh, all we can do now is hope he sees this channel and it destroys him before that crap begins. I like 30 FPS because of the longevity. The game lasts twice as long in 30 FPS as in 60. I'm glad I get to take my time and truly enjoy it. What? No! Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but it took me a second to actually get this. This is the pound of lead, pound of feathers argument. See, 30 frames in 1 second and 60 frames in 1 second doesn't change the game time. Because it's still a second. We get controllers. Come at me, PC nerds. People argue PCs are better. They're not. They can be if you're willing to pay large amounts of money to make it better than a console. Nothing beats a console based on its price performance. PCs excel in only one area in gaming, which is single-player games where you can mod them and turn up the graphical settings. You'll see very little advantage in multiplayer other than excessive frame rates, which are actually an issue because you can have 2 people in a game. One running 24 FPS and another running 240 FPS. Plus, the large-scale hacking, etc. on PCs, and the risk of viruses, etc., really do outweigh the advantages. What is with this idea that there's only so much frame rate to go around? Is this another piece of crap lie that Ubisoft told? No, I'm looking through their tweets and I'm not seeing anything. Look, if I'm in a multiplayer game, and I'm playing at 144 FPS, and my friend is in, and he's playing at 144 FPS, everything is okay. In fact, all 32 people in the game can be playing at 144 FPS. There is no limit between gamers. But aside from that, here are the things a $400 PC can do compared to a $400 console. Frame rate, upgradability, customizability, more games, more genres, emulation, higher graphics settings, mods. I could go on, but I do this every time. The biggest ones, though, is that you aren't locked down by a company. Your online gaming is free, and you aren't told what games you can and cannot play because you picked one console. You have access to anything you like. Yeah, because the 360 is better than the PS3, and the PS4 is better than the Xbox One. But as far as PC, well, PC should not be classed as a gaming platform. Yeah, you know that platform, the biggest gaming platform in the world, the one that revolutionized physics, first-person shooters, virtual reality, the one that video games are literally developed on? Yeah, don't classify that one as a gaming platform, that one doesn't count. Some of us actually interact with other people. Besides, good luck finding a match on any game lobby for the PC a year after the game launches. Not only do you have to pay $2 to $3K for a gaming PC, you also have to pay for games every year it releases because of the lacking community within the PC gaming sphere. So yeah, I don't mind the streaming 12-year-olds, because they're easy to kill and help advance me in the game. Ugh, some of the cringy crap you guys send me sometimes. Okay, look at games like Battlefield 1942. That game's online multiplayer provider shut down and people are still playing that game with each other. And that thing came out in 2002. Look at Dota, one of the most popular games to this day, and it came out in 2013. Same with League of Legends, Team Fortress 2, any of the Counter-Strike games, and you can play all of these games I mentioned on a $50 desktop, using integrated graphics. But it was the part at the end that got me. I don't mind screaming 12-year-olds because they're easy to kill. I think you wanted that to sound cooler than it actually did. I just wish we could change the FOV on consoles, to be honest. FOV changing is bad, generally a cheat. Okay, I hate to be that guy, but this bothers me when people say this. I kind of feel like those people who are like, that's better not have gluten in it, like most of them do it without even being allergic to gluten at all, but I digress. As a person prone to motion sickness, raising the FOV is not a hack. It determines if I can even play the game. People that play with keyboard and mouse are pretentious. Hey guys, I'm going to be playing some Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and I'm great. Let's go ahead and jump into a game. By the way, I'm just amazing. Let's go ahead and do terrorists this time. Yeah. Alright, now all we have to do is go in here. Aw. Well, that's okay, I'm perfect. Why are PC users so annoying? Can't they appreciate anything and accept the fact that they can't build a new PC this small that games at 4K 60? Ooh, again, you're talking to the internet, and somewhere on the internet you are eventually going to run into someone like me who just so happens to have this. A $450 briefcase gaming PC. This thing has 16GB of RAM, a GTX 1060, and a 4790K. Let's just say this thing is a lot more powerful than the PS4 and the Xbox One. And would you look at that, gosh darn it, it's about the same size too. But please, do tell me more, I'd love to hear about how impossible this is. Does the i7-7700K have Windows installed, or do I need to buy Windows pre-installed one? The guy at the bottom. You need to put the CPU in an actual window and then leave it there for a day to absorb the operating system, dude. Come on. That's common sense. Oh, what in the world? See, I love ones like this because I don't have to pick some political side. I can just have a good laugh. So, McDonald's own McAfee tweets out, 3 cheers to a bright morning. This guy here. I buy your product and my PC still has a virus. Yeah. Okay. Well, this episode got really weird really fast. I'm gonna get out of here before anything weirder happens, but before I go, I of course have a video to show you. This is ABC News telling you and your parents why Animal Crossing is a dangerous game. Enjoy.
That's right. This is the game, and you actually create your own character, house, and even town. And when connected to the internet, you can talk to people across the country. And kids have no say as to what some of these characters say to them. For example, this character could be the man in California police are warning about tonight that asked for images from Missouri children. You probably have told your kids never to talk to strangers. But when playing, the heart of the game is building relationships with the animals in your town, as well as the other players. To really reach the next level, the game urges you to exchange letters, gifts, and favors. Anderson says it is going to take parents paying attention to keep this problem from exploding.